Matt Damon reveals startling information about Ben Affleck at the age of 53. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's marriage has been announced as finished, following significant public interest and constant speculations. Their wedding, which appeared to be a fairy tale, took place exactly 2 years ago. Once again propelled into the spotlight by their reignited love, they flaunted their joy to the world as they rode about in a Bentley and smiled for the cameras. Is it possible that their outward contentment masks more serious issues? You might be surprised by what we're about to reveal about Ben Affleck's story, so brace yourself. The couple's miraculous reconciliation in 2021 captivated onlookers with its seemingly idyllic romance. This aspiration, however, has now disintegrated. A wonderful reconciliation in the eyes of many has taken a very different turn. Ben Affleck's notoriously tangled and colorful love life is once again at the epicenter of a shocking development. It appears that his history of high-profile relationships and continual media scrutiny has returned, impacting his present relationship with Lopez. Everything we thought we knew about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez could be shattered by what occurs next. It's shocking and dark. Looking at Affleck's background helps to clarify the reason behind this abrupt transformation. His relationships throughout the years have frequently displayed noticeable patterns. What followed was a natural progression from his formative years in Hollywood. Affleck and his friend Matt Damon catapulted to stardom in 1997 following the success of Good Will Hunting. They joined the exclusive circles of Hollywood's elite and earned an Oscar for their success. Gwyneth Paltrow and Ben Affleck met at one of Harvey Weinstein's VIP parties. She had recently terminated her romance with Brad Pitt and was forthright about her feelings of remorse, attributing much of the breakup to her own lack of maturity. In stark contrast to the connection she would eventually form with Affleck, she was forthright about her background. Things looked well between them initially. Shakespeare in Love was the catalyst for their relationship to explode into the spotlight. Their relationship, though, had its fair share of highs and lows. Their on-again, off-again relationship became common news over the following few years, with occasional reunions, like when filming Bounce, serving as notable exceptions. There was no more romance between them by the year 2000. Paltrow was very forthright about the difficulty of the separation. She was more introspective while discussing her time with Pitt, but harsher when criticizing Affleck. She said on Howard Stern's show that although Affleck had a comic timing, they had a lot of problems and arguments while they were together. Her suggestion that Affleck was not emotionally prepared for a committed engagement was a common thread in his past relationships. The problem, though, wasn't limited to this. By implying that some people try to resolve issues from their upbringing in their relationships as adults, Paltrow was alluding to more fundamental problems. She seemed to be implying that her relationship with Affleck exemplified this trend. During an appearance with Good Morning America, Affleck defensively responded by implying that Paltrow would choose a partner similar to her father. Given that her parents had strong feelings against him, this remark suggested hidden tensions. When Ben Affleck made a remark, Gwyneth Paltrow did not take it lying down. In response, she shot back that a bikini-clad waitress delivering icy beers would be her perfect man. This heated argument highlighted the discord in their relationship and provided a clue about Affleck's propensity to let his interests diverge. More and more evidence emerged that this was the case. Ben Affleck appeared to have an uncanny knack for provoking problems in his relationships. The worries of Gwyneth Paltrow and her circle of friends weren't, however, the only ones. Paltrow recounted an incident from her relationship with Affleck in 2016 in which she hosted a dinner with Mario Batali, a famous chef. When it came to Affleck, Batali's feelings for Brad Pitt were drastically different. Many around Paltrow were suspicious of Affleck as a suitable companion, and his icy demeanor conveyed their displeasure. This pessimism portrayed an inconsistent and frequently dishonest tendency in Affleck's romantic relationships. Another one of Affleck's exes, Jennifer Garner, agreed with this assessment. His complex personality, she said, manifested itself in his extreme polarities, warm and attentive when he was thinking about you, and icy and distant when he wasn't. This seemed to corroborate the experiences of other women who had dated Affleck, who could be described as a man capable of bringing both darkness and brightness into his relationships. The romance of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, also known as Bennifer, had a like trajectory. They crossed paths for the first time while filming Giggly, which took place when Lopez was still married to Chris Judd. Affleck revealed in an interview from 2003 that he and Lopez became good friends while working together, but that there was no initial romantic involvement due to Lopez's marital status. However, this friendship quickly evolved into something deeper. Affleck and Lopez's romance flourished after Lopez's July 2002 divorce from Judd. Lopez and Affleck started dating that summer after their attraction at her birthday party became obvious. Their engagement was widely reported by the time Lopez's hit single Jenny from the Block was released in November 2002. Featuring Affleck, the music video for the song went viral, particularly for the scene on a yacht where Lopez's posterior was kissed by Affleck, a moment that became ingrained in popular culture. Things didn't go wrong quite like this, though. According to People magazine, they were engaged with a 6-carat pink diamond ring from Harry Winston, but their joy was short-lived. It felt that the relationship issues reflected in the box office failure of the film Giggly. They rescheduled their September 2003 wedding a few days before the big day, citing the overwhelming media coverage as the reason. The situation had escalated to the point where they considered strategically placing decoys to throw off the photographers. The worst part, though, was not this. One of the main reasons their relationship ended in January 2004 was because of all the public attention they were under. When they reconciled over 20 years later, the subject of public scrutiny would surface once more. Lopez had to seek for privacy at a tough moment because the media was still very involved in their life, even after they announced their re-engagement. Lopez and Affleck spent 2004, 2021, 2021, 202 without one other. Mark Anthony, a musician Lopez had dated previously, became her husband. They got married in 2008 and had twins that year. However, they divorced in 2014. Affleck, meanwhile, persisted in his pattern of relationships, frequently involving co-stars. This revealed a pattern in his life where his romantic relationships frequently intersected with his professional life, resulting in passionate love stories that frequently came to a public and terrible end. Looks like Affleck's tumultuous history had an impact on his next major relationship, as partners in crime to co-parents. Their tale evolved from that of co-stars to that of spouses and eventually co-parents when Ben Affleck started dating Jennifer Garner. Pearl Harbor, 2000, was the setting for their initial encounter. Garner was a nurse and Affleck was a brave pilot at that era. On Felicity, Garner co-starred with Scott Foley, who she was still married to at the time. Their bond flourished after reuniting in 2003 on Daredevil's set. The two became closer as time went on, despite the fact that Garner was seeing Foley and Affleck was seeing Jennifer Lopez. After falling in love with one another, they married and spent 10 years together before deciding to part ways. Garner gushed over Affleck's height, black hair, and good looks, saying he was her dream boyfriend. They secretly were engaged on Garner's 33rd birthday and for a time avoided the limelight. They made an effort to lead ordinary lives, avoiding the spotlight save for rare public appearances like Red Sox games. Their daughter Violet was born not long after they tied the knot, marking their first child. The delivery was shrouded in secrecy, and the only announcement made was that the mother and child were thriving. The happy couple accepted their new duties as parents despite Garner inadvertently revealing they were having a girl during a TV interview. It seems like Friends' affection only got stronger after having children. The worst part, though, was not this. The pair overcame numerous obstacles in their seemingly flawless lives. They announced their split the day after their 10th wedding anniversary. Their intentions to co-parent their children and keep things quiet were very obvious when they announced their separation. Many were taken aback by the abrupt revelation, which was their sole public declaration regarding the breakup. Garner and Affleck had a cordial co-parenting relationship following their divorce. Not long after they announced their breakup, they even went on a family vacation to the Bahamas. Images from the vacation showed them enjoying quality time with their kids, either one-on-one or in small groups. They stuck together, supporting one another and clinging to their shared history, which only they could really comprehend, as Garner revealed in a subsequent interview. Their relationship would always be strong due to their rich past. But that wasn't the last obstacle they faced. The world quickly learned about Affleck's personal troubles. Following the finalization of their divorce, he publicly praised Garner for her support and finished his treatment stint. He opened up about his struggles with alcoholism and his resolve to be a better parent in an emotional essay. He stressed the importance of his loved ones, particularly Garner's, support to his recuperation. Both parents requested joint child custody when they formally filed for divorce in 2017. The years of guesswork on a possible reconciliation came to a close with this. They shared parenting responsibilities, participated on family vacations, and occasionally lived under the same roof even throughout this time. Prior to the papers being finalized, these acts made it difficult to distinguish between them. The difficult times, however, were not over yet. After suffering a relapse in 2018, Affleck sought out Garner's assistance once again. He acknowledged his need for help promptly and continued to rely on her while she drove him to a treatment clinic. During this time, Garner had the challenging responsibility of explaining Affleck's illness to their children, ensuring that they grasped the situation in a manner appropriate to their age. Managing the public aspect of Affleck's recovery and providing a secure atmosphere for their children were two of Garner's most important roles, but her contributions extended well beyond mere support. Maintaining stability for their family and Affleck's health necessitated this difficult but necessary task. A lengthy and difficult chapter in their lives came to a close in October 2018, 3 years after they first separated, when their divorce was finalized. It was a chapter characterized by mutual regard and a dedication to the success and joy of their children. We will now see how Affleck's past mistakes affected his attempts to re-establish and sustain romantic relationships. Some remarks Ben Affleck made regarding his marriage to Jennifer Garner caused him to endure significant criticism. He discussed his struggles with alcohol and marital problems publicly during an interview with Howard Stern. A sense of confinement would keep him drinking, he admitted, if he were still Garner's husband. He went to extreme lengths to justify his drinking as a means of evading his marriage and its children. The implication that he was placing the blame for his relationship's problems on his drinking made many people angry. Despite their mutual love and respect, he revealed that their marriage was on the brink of collapse. Their children were the primary motivation for their efforts to remain married, but they came to see that this wasn't setting the ideal example for their children. His forthright explanations caught many off guard, and some even took offense to his seeming lack of empathy, a problem that persisted in his relationships. He attempted to explain his remarks in response to the criticism, but by then his reputation had taken a hit. His co-star in the film Deep Water, Ana de Armas, was his next significant other shortly after his divorce. It was as if the film's tragic story of a failing marriage reflected the events that were about to transpire in their own lives. They grew close, were regulars in each other's lives, and shared many intimate moments online. The two of them celebrated de Armas's birthday together, and their friendship blossomed rapidly. She came to live with him shortly thereafter. However, this was not the sole issue. Shortly after de Armas moved in, the relationship came to an end. Living together so quickly reportedly caused too much strain on their relationship, which ultimately led to its demise. It seemed to follow the same pattern as his previous romantic relationships: explosive beginnings and abrupt endings. Although de Armas's stated distaste for Los Angeles was the formal justification, the hasty split following relocation suggested underlying issues. The handling of the separation was unhelpful. Photos of his kids playing with a life-size statue of Damon surfaced shortly after, and then it went viral when others threw it out in public. It was clear once again that he struggled with commitment because many people thought this was a highly chaotic approach to dealing with the matter. His partnerships often appeared to abruptly cease rather than confront the difficulties. The worst part, though, was not this. It was nothing unusual for him for relationships to terminate so abruptly. His brother Casey Affleck chimed in on the breakup with Damon, predicting that the two would be okay and be able to move on without a hitch. In his discussion of the pandemic's impact on relationships, he dropped hints that they should rethink breaking up. He reconnected with Jennifer Lopez not long after his split from Damon. Bennifer 2.0, the name given to their reignited affair, caught many by surprise. Through his emails, he assured her that he was committed to making things work this time, and he appeared extremely eager to win her back. Going on romantic getaways and Lopez gushing about how happy they were brought their love back into the limelight. His second proposal was a passionate one, and it took place in her favorite place of all, the bathtub. A rare green diamond adorned the engagement ring, a symbol of good fortune and love that harkened back to their shared history and some of her most iconic fashion moments. They tied the knot in a small, intimate ceremony in Sin City, and then had a huge reception in Georgia to celebrate. Still, the spotlight from their previous romance appeared to be resurfacing, and he found himself battling the spotlight once more. The story, however, did not end here. It felt like he was going against his desire for privacy by encouraging her to listen to old songs about their past together, even though he was trying to keep their relationship private. He sent conflicting messages about how private he wanted their relationship by taking part in public events and marketing that involved them. Since Lopez was filming a documentary that featured their private messages, this discrepancy further strained their relationship. More stress arose as a result of the public disclosure of their intimate moments, which became overwhelming for him. They still had a long way to go in their relationship, as they struggled to maintain a healthy equilibrium between their public and private lives. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck had their differences due in large part to Affleck's erratic conduct. Even though he loathed the spotlight their relationship received, he made an effort to please her at times. Attempting to manage her work while coping with a lover who was growing increasingly distant, Lopez found herself in a difficult position due to his confusing signals. Despite his claims of wanting seclusion, he ended up being featured in a documentary and an album, which only served to increase his level of public scrutiny. It was obvious he was uneasy with the constant media attention, even though he may have tried to encourage Lopez and provide her joy. While discussing his difficulties in the documentary, he likened it to getting married to a boat captain just to gripe about the ocean. The fact that he was unable to cope with the public aspect of their relationship was demonstrated by this. Lopez, who was doing his best to maintain their marriage stable, became an object of increasing hostility as a result of this inner turmoil. As a symbol of their unity, she and he even got matching tattoos on their first Valentine's Day together as a married couple. The worst part, though, was not this. The couple's inability to strike a balance between a private life and a public one contributed to the breakdown of their marriage. Despite his optimism and dedication, Lopez eventually caved under the strain of their differences. At the end of Bennifer 2.0, the love that had initially united them became their greatest challenge. For a few more months after their formal separation in April 2024, they kept acting as if they were still in a relationship. They went house hunting in New York City and showed signs of affection during March, the weeks leading up to their discreet breakup. He returned to California to film The Accountant 2 after enjoying Easter with her in Brooklyn, but she remained in New York for the most part. Their marital problems started to surface around this time. It had been more than a month since they were last seen in a photo together. She met with his wife and close friend, business partner, Matt Damon, a few days before their split became public knowledge. As the situation deteriorated, he was unable to attend numerous significant May events for her, such as the premiere of her Netflix film Atlas and the Met Gala, of which she served as co-chair. He is uneasy and dislikes the Met Gala, according to a friend of his. Just with his grouchy performance at the 2023 Grammys, his companion thought that if he had shown there in an unpleasant mood, it may have garnered unwanted attention. Curiously, he did make an appearance at the Met Gala in 2021, but he hasn't been back since. His absence was particularly disheartening considering the difficult year she was going through, even though it seems like he should be there to support his wife at such a huge event. Due to poor interest, she had to cancel multiple dates on her tour, deal with the failure of her first studio album in 10 years, and star in 2 biopics. She even rescheduled her tour to perform only her biggest hits. It wasn't the only letdown either. She went to the Met Gala on her own, despite the fact that she needed his encouragement. It appeared as though he was unwilling to support her during her most critical moments. Even after their initial split, she helped him reintegrate into family life, so she had always been there for him. Thus, this was very painful for her. Their blended family was their top priority when they remarried in July 2022. Attending events with his children garnered attention, and she had gone to great lengths to become a part of his family. He and his ex-wife Jennifer Garner have 3 kids together, and she has twins from her marriage to Mark Anthony. They have shown their dedication to maintaining a united front as a family by frequently attending family outings with their children since getting back together. Unfortunately, this was just the beginning of their issues. Following their breakup, he sought solace in being alone with his family. His daughter Violet was about to start college when he was spotted enjoying fun in Connecticut with his daughters and ex-wife. His and hers is an unusually rare celebrity couple. They have co-parented harmoniously despite their breakup. For tuning in, I'm grateful. To participate and express your ideas, like, comment, and subscribe.